Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your board. New gear on and all. I got my gear in. I got my right thinking gear to be purchased. If you want, download the information. Get in touch with me. We can take care of that. Now, rightism. 25 rules live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. The message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune into receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission. And yeah, that's what I'm on. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life. And that's what it is done right through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is to get all right thinkers to do just that. But I give lessons for you to do that. All you gotta do is tune in, practice the lesson, and know thyself. That should be your goal because it's my mission to get you to do just that. Let's go. So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have the answer for yourself, that's okay. Tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not, foolish, disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know, spiritually asleep, I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. The right thinkers know thyself and always to my yacht be true. I cut the lesson short yesterday. We talked about the divine spirit and Moses, how Moses put God outside himself. That's the concept that they had. So now I'm gonna break it down to other concept that the Egyptians and everybody else had, other than them. Okay, meaning Orthodox Christian. Let's go. In most Orthodox adhering to traditions or established beliefs, meaning they have a certain protocol, forms a religion. Now, you, the worshiper, is mentally aware of him or herself as being what? An individual. I explained to you, we are divine beings having a human experience. We forgot we're divine and we think we're human. I'm trying to get you to understand you are divine. That's knowing thyself. So that's the concept. Okay. So we think being individual, looking at another individual, God. This is me, that's God. Watch, follow along. That's the Christian concept. Okay, the Orthodox Christian, Roman Catholics understand that. Okay, they still hold on to that concept to this day. Watch this. So they think they're individual looking at another individual, aka God, and in the forms. Watch this, of idols, pictures, scriptural descriptions, etc. Now, in the Gnostics or mystical forms of religion out of Egypt, the Egyptian mystery system, you got the Vedanta, you got the Taoism, you got Buddhism, you got Gnostic Christianity, which is the original Christian concept. They all employ the yoga philosophy and meditation techniques for the worshiper to directly to the worshiper is directed to cease what? The thoughts of the mind, which involves what? Personal identification, which is your ego self, which the body and your ego self, and thereby becoming one with the absolute by an immediate, direct, intuitive knowledge of God, aka when you know thyself. That's what knowing thyself means. You becoming one with your higher self through the deeds and the studying and the living righteous and virtuous lifestyle. You become one with your higher self. When you go against the things that you need to do, aka Maya, the devil is just anyone in opposition to God. If you oppose God, yeah, You get the concept? So God is the ultimate reality, the ultimate self that human beings have to come to grips with. And this intuitive knowledge of God refers to what? That ecstatic experience, just defined, which is what? The real ritualistic religious experience, knowing thyself, coming enlightened, waking up, resurrection, nihas, all those things, the names, moksha, all those are names for you becoming one with your higher self. That's the concept. But you got the ritualistic, which is just a surface level religious experience. I told you the first two levels of religious practice, a lot of people fall right there. Myth, story, ritual, going to church. The third is performing the stuff that you learned in church and about the myth. You're supposed to put it to use and you will have your own experience with God for yourself. That's the purpose of right thinking philosophy, to get you to have that. Religion's supposed to do that. And if it's done right, it will after a while. But right thinking philosophy teaches you that as you go, and you'll find out real quick what it's about. But when you had your religious experience, it is often accompanied, watch this, by heightened emotions. On Sunday, they got the organ playing, they got the music going, everybody all amped up. That's just an emotion. And everybody goes through it. We don't play music like that at my church. The group, the choir, sing a song. All the other stuff, no, we do church. So I get it. And I see people doing it, whatever, how they do it. Everybody's entitled to do what they want. But at church, it gives you that extra oomph. Watch this. It's heightened emotion, your vision, and other phenomena. However, here you go. There is what? Watch this. This is the part I got a problem with. There is no transitional vision of the absolute, and there's no transcendence of what? The ego self. They leave church just as egoistic and ignorant as they was when they walked out. So they really didn't learn nothing. Had a good time. Felt good. Yeah, looked good. But they didn't learn nothing. I'm just saying. Now, in other words, an ecstatic religious experience is the level of what? The mind and the senses, which does not show you that you are not the body, not the mind and sense, and does not reveal your true self. So it don't really enlighten you. It don't really inspire and motivate you or educate you. So as a teacher of a philosophical concept spiritually, I need to know that the lessons is being learned and adhered to by those who I'm giving it to. That's why I give it to you. Lastly, now this is the part I start out with. Watch the imitators. I'm starting to see a lot of that now. And I'm starting to pay attention and say, well, y'all teaching what I'm teaching, but y'all ain't teaching it the right way. Okay. But lastly, it would be what? Exceedingly great error to what? For anyone to claim to be a realized spiritual master, aka sage or guru, if you're not. Well, how can they do that? You got people perpetrating, tell you they got degrees in this and they went there, all that. But when it's time to give the lessons, that's where they fall short. Okay, there you go. This is because why? The psychic illusion that would be created within their own mind would hamper their own spiritual movement. Again, I tell you, you can't fake knowledge. You can't fake intellect. You can't fake wisdom and understanding. Simple as that. So when you do that, you will be exposed and you won't grow spiritually. You can't fake God. You can't perpetrate God. P-Funk means pure real. I'm going to keep it real. Even when I was wrong, it was still pure real. So I'm perfect what I'm doing now. Why? I ain't got to worry about it. Okay, moving on. That's the whole key. Knowing thyself and keeping it real. Follow your own philosophical points of view. Don't let somebody guide you and lead you and just say, well, they told me, they said. If you come to me with a problem and say, they said, go back to them. Why? Listen to them. You obviously did because you did what they said. Moving on. I can't help you if you don't want to help yourself. Watch this. It's going to play out. Next lesson is going to be the role of a teacher. Watch this. But however, you have an imitation of a spiritual personality, and their behavior is permitted and is even promoted to the extent that what? That they claim to be grounded in reality and honesty, but the whole time they're not. Remember, claiming don't mean you are. Doing shows that you are. Remember, if what they say don't match what they do, something's amiss. Okay, so watch this. Where we at? Their personality, because they claim to be okay. Remember, the idea is that we what? We feel. Watch this. We feel, we act, we believe, and we think. It is all right to what? To emulate. Or something. No, before believing thing. Okay, so therefore, what happened? As we feel, we're going to act, and we believe, and we think in a particular way. Watch this going on. And what happens? We become like until whatever we think we are, whatever we act on, that's what's going to be done. And if you're not sincere and true to what you're doing, you will be exposed. Simple as that. This is why it's not good. But some of them get away with it. They call scamming. When you giving people bad advice about life, you ain't a scammer. You just a liar. Maybe a pastor, preacher, reverend, but still lying. Moving on. Thus, what happened? It's all right to what? To emulate the qualities of what? A real sage, okay? A real spiritual teacher. Why? Because this process helps to what? Control your ego and helps develop sagely qualities. AKA doing the right thing for the right reason. That's all the sages do. I live what I teach. I practice what I teach. Simple. But what's this? Self-realized masters don't go around proclaiming their enlightenment. I'm a master. I'm this. I'm that. My actions, what I do. Well, you have questions. Well, what do you do? Now I can tell you, but I'm not around. I do this. I do that. I'm Dr. So and So. Grandizing. Real spiritual masters don't do that. Watch this. Why? Rather, it is more the case of what? That their disciples, their students, their right thinkers, they are drawn to me. Why? Because of my teachings and my living examples. Simple. Why? The advanced aspirant or right thinker can know who is an advanced personality, see, due to what? His or her own increasing purity and wisdom. I tell you, if you practice in my philosophy and you're not prospering, you're not doing it right, or let me know. It ain't working. Why? Because it always works if it's done right. Only way it don't work is if you don't do it right. Okay? Understand that. And this is why you find somebody who you trust, respect, and listen to. My disciple never questioned the lessons I give him. 5 years and running, still no pushback. No, well, none of that. I respect that. Moving on. But therefore, what happens? In order to recognize a true teacher, what has to be done? You need to develop your own what? Intuitive faculties, your discernment to understand is this a good guy or a bad guy. If y'all watching the mega preachers sending them money, you ain't too smart. Moving on. You ain't using your intuitive or your discernment faculties. Wrap it up. This is accomplished how? By studying what? The teachings and by living and developing what? Serenity within yourself. And that brings on what? Your strong moral character. You become an upright person. You become a good person. You become an honest, forthright person doing right by any and everybody. Why? Because you do the right thing for the right reason. Simple. Okay? That's the end of that lesson. Now I'm going to slide over here to the title of this one's called The Role of a Teacher. Well, what's that got to do with it? It's important. If you're a teacher, you should know your role. This ain't for the students. This is for the teachers. Get the lesson. Let's go. The teacher does not understand this. When I went to high school, I know teachers that marry students. So that ain't the role of a teacher. The teacher does not become sentimental, romantically involved with their students. Female, if you got eyes for me, for any other reason than learning my philosophy, don't waste your time. Don't waste your or my time because I will stop it real quick. Trust me on that. So it ain't about, well, I want to learn, but no, we know them kind. I'm not that dude. Simple. Okay, I'm honest and I'm going to do what I do for you, not to you. Feeling sorrow for those who do not follow the teachings or get elated over those who do. I got a disciple, proud as tickle pink about him, okay? But I know that him getting what he got don't change what I am or what I do. Trust me. As a teacher, you don't get caught up in your students' lessons. Why? Always ends bad. It always ends bad. You can't mix knowledge with pleasure. Spirituality is non-physical. It's all spiritual. Up here. I don't need to touch you. We don't need to engage. None of that. Understand that. So when you got them guys who touchy feely, them ain't teachers. They ain't playing their role. My job is to teach you, not to touch you. The teacher, having discovered, and this is what he should be, having discovered what? The source of the pain and suffering, seeks to what? Eliminate it wherever it may be. That means you're here to help them become better, not stress them out with relationship entanglements that they got sneak and creep. That's not honest. That ain't spiritual. That's lust. A teacher should not lust for his students, female or male. Don't make a difference. A lot of that nonsense. But through the force of what? Wisdom, which is your experience, which like to the eye of Ra, it does what? Burn away all ignorance in his path. The reason why he got that serpent out front to spit 6 feet in front of him to keep his area clean where he can walk that path. With knowledge, that's the concept. You can walk a path without worrying about the problem. Why? You burn away all the ignorance, you become enlightened. Only the ignorant people walk around stumbling and bumbling. Okay? Watch this. Now, where there is wisdom, what? There can be no ignorance. You can't be smart and dumb at the same time. If you're ignorant, you're ignorant. If you have wisdom, you have wisdom through what? Exercising through your experience. And therefore, there's no pain and suffering for the wise, for the righteous, for the ones who doing what they're supposed to do. Why do you think that is? Just as there can be no darkness in a room where the light has been turned on, however, the teacher does not seek to what? Violate anyone's freedom of will and choice. Don't put him in a position where they got to worry about, is he trying to get in my pants? Is he trying to do something to me? Just teach. Those who been turned on, however, the teacher does not, those who wish to be under, if you want to be under the guidance and influence of a teacher, you must do so out of what? Your free will. Everything that you do, that you come to get, should be done on your free will and accord. As a Masonic man, they ask you at every level, is this your choice? Is this your own free will and accord? You have to answer in the affirmative. If not, you can go back. If this ain't what you want to do, you can go back. Simple. Okay, where we at? But since not even a teacher of the highest power with knowledge can what? Can remove their pain and ignorance if what? They do not want to become enlightened. I can't make you become a right thing. I can't force you to take the philosophy. I can't force you to do it. Don't work that way. Some people think it can. They be real hard. I hate them old rough guys. Some of them been in prison. I've been in prison, but that doesn't mean you got to act. Prison ain't out here. No, you did prison while you was in prison. Out here, don't treat people like they prisoners. We're free people. Like Mr. Damon, I am a boy. Understand? We ain't in prison no more. All right. But if you're a teacher, just teach. So therefore, a teacher, what? A teacher makes him or herself a conduit. I'm trying to get you to God. My job is to get you to God for yourself. I know God. I'm trying to get you to know him for yourself. I don't want to tell you about him. I want you to believe in him. I want you to know him for yourself. There's some things you can do to make that possible. a conduit. I'm a conduit, an instrument for who? The divine. Through what? Through which the divine may enlighten others when they are what? Ready. I put the lessons out every day. Whenever you decide that you want to change what you're doing, I'll be here. I ain't going nowhere. Been doing this for 5 years now. I ain't going nowhere. Moving on. In the meantime, watch this. In the meantime, nature, aka netters, through the unseen, amen, forces, aka karma. Remember, karma guides souls who are what? Not ready to receive the what? The teachings of who? The advanced spiritual preceptor, aka the teacher, master. The path of nature is the path of spiritual growth. Through what? What's this? Many lifetimes. That means you reincarnate and you keep coming back, okay? Because you ain't getting it right. So it requires what? The experience of what? Many sorrows, many disappointments, many disillusionments, and violence sometimes. So some of us even died paralyzed through violence. Okay. However, these events are planned by who? Nature to what? Awaken the deeper need of the soul to what? Seek spiritual enlightenment. That's the goal of all human beings. With divine beings come here to have a human experience to realize who? We are divine beings, aka to know ourselves. Watch this. To gain spiritual enlightenment, how? Through wisdom, meaning experience, rather than through what? The world of the body senses. You're never going to get anything from the five senses except that. But through the world of what? Senses and enjoyments and complicated karma entanglements. The more you satisfy the body, the more karma entanglements you're going to have, meaning you're going to get back what you put out. And if you ain't putting out good, you ain't gonna like what you get back. Simple as that. But it's all up to you. Last one. Appreciate you tuning in. Almost done. Thank you. While there is always a value to any. Whoa. I missed the whole section. I'm sorry. Get a little bit ahead of myself. I got a whole lesson to read right here. The teacher, become an example and transcending the pain and sorrow of human existence. You have to do it yourself. I'm giving you what I know. Why? I've been through it. I've done it. That's why. That's what makes me a master teacher. I've mastered myself, so now I can teach others. Where we at? The teacher, now become an example and transcending the pain and sorrow of human existence, can then what? Now you can express what? True compassion, I do, for what? Humanity. I, for some reason, love and want everybody to be enlightened and do good. That's not that guy. Moving on. So the most effective way to help what? Humanity. Okay. You complain about the problem. You talking about they need this and that. Okay, what you doing? The best way to help it is to what? Help yourself first to become what? Enlightened. I've done that. Now I'm on my mission to help others to do the same thing. Then the obstacles which what? Which trouble most people, which is ignorance, will not affect you. Why? In the least. Ignorance, the devil don't mess with me. Why? I'm a hard nut to crack. He can't coax me. He can't tempt me. He can't sway me from doing what it is I'm doing for my higher self. That's why. So you go get somebody else. He ain't waste his time on somebody who can't sway. Leave them alone. And they're so far and few between that he don't worry about you. He don't worry about me. He say out of every 10, 80 y'all are serving him. I'm just conceptually. But with your wisdom and your realization would be an error. Excuse me. All right, this is my part right here. Yeah, I'm going to get this. Your wisdom and your realization would be your armor, which protects you against what? The miseries of the world. Remember, he said, live in the world, be in the world, but not of the world. They don't fall for the nonsense that everybody else do. Find your own path, walk to your own tune, and be your own self. Being like everybody else. They said be like Mike. That meant if you was a basketball player. Don't be like Mike as a person. No, just on that basketball court, you have to understand the symbology behind the thing that you're saying. I want to be like Mike. Flying in the court, yeah. Anything else? No. Moving on. I ain't going there. All right. I know some Michael Jordan fans. I ain't trying to ruffle their feathers, but no, just on the hoop court. Moving on. Watch this. Even the most sincere social workers cannot help humanity to the fullest if what they themselves are what suffering from the pains and the miseries of their own human existence. You can't claim to be self-discovered and you ain't discovered yourself. How that work? There's a lot of that going on too. False advertisement when they say one thing and they don't match with their actions. You as a student should recognize that in the teacher. And the way he teaching, he ain't living, don't listen to him. Simple as that. What you teach should be what you live. What you live should be what you teach. So they go synonymous, they work together. And if you ain't doing it like that, you ain't doing it right. So when you have, if you do not, watch this, here's the best part right here, my favorite part. If you do not know how to swim in this ocean of the world we call life, right? You can't teach others philosophically. Watch this. So, if you don't know how to swim in this ocean of the world of human experiences, what happened? You cannot save others from drowning in that situation. Why? You just like them. I'm out here backstroking, I'm chilling. I'm watching people floundering around. And none of them gonna ask for no help. I just stroke around. I just keep going. I ain't got a problem. Why? I can do this. You don't want to have a problem. You look like you're struggling. But they won't ask for help. Moving on. That's the ignorance in them. The large number of psychiatrists, psychologists and psychiatrists who what? Who experience their own problems. Watch this. Such and stress. And what they do, they end up committing suicide. If you're a professional and this is your profession and you can't handle it, how'd you get it? Just saying. You commit suicide, and that's an example of what this. Therefore, unless you are above being affected by the human condition, meaning you still caught up in the rat race, you can't teach nobody how to get out. You in the matrix, you ain't out. You can't teach nobody how to get out. I'm out. By working to what? Overcome it in your what? Yourself. It starts with you through what? Practicing right thinking philosophy, yoga, science, and you cannot assist, watch this, those who are affected by that condition until what? You take care of your own. Stop telling somebody what and how to do and giving life advice if you ain't living it. Just saying. Wrapping it up. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. Let me finish this up right quick. Now, while there is always a value to any action, meaning good or bad, you're going to have a reaction. An ordinary person takes what? To uplift society. You have value to society and to themselves. Just doing and being a good person, you add to society. If you can help others do that, you're even doing more. That's what I'm doing. The most effective way, what? To change the world, I need to know that, is to what? To begin changing yourself, that man in the mirror. As Jesus admirably said, what? Seek ye what? First. Seek ye first. What? The kingdom of heaven. God, thyself. And what? Your righteousness. His righteousness, excuse me. And what happened after that? All these things shall be added to you. So whatever it is you want out of life, once you reach that level of maturity and understanding, knowing thyself, everything else will fall right into place. Simple. But if you want all that other stuff, without that, you really ain't got nothing. Understand that. A lot of people do what? When it's too late. Most of us. We don't recognize what we got to what? We don't have it no more. As long as that well giving water, you ain't worried about it. The first time it stopped, now we got a problem. So don't miss your water when the well run dry. Make sure you're taking care of that well so that it don't run dry. Because if you don't, it will. Wrapping it up. While continuing what? Do your work for what? The betterment of humanity. I do this so I can help some other people out. I say what I do what I do for you, humanity. Okay, then moving on. Ain't you part of humanity? But you must not take on, watch this. This is what I'm not going to do. Take on your burdens of the world upon my shoulders. I don't care about the political arena. I don't care two cracks about Trump and what's going on. Why? That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not invested in that nonsense. So that's why. But you must trust and have faith in what? In the plan of God who works through the netters, mysterious divine forces of nature. Luke, use the force, okay? And the cosmos. You must honestly, okay, understand that your own need to help society and rectify injustice is an expression of what? Your own need to achieve what? Wholeness. And this wholeness cannot be found where? In the world. From an egoistic perspective, the I, the me, never. But if you do not trust in nature's ability to help others, what? It is like saying that you do not trust in God. That's God creation. The world is imperfect and unjust. This would be an expression of what? Your own ignorance. If you think like that, you're just ignorant. Salvation. Salvation is man's answer. Salvation is accomplished where? Through the efforts. That means what you do of the individual, and there is no mediator between who? Man and his or her salvation, aka God. You get what you deserve. You reap what you sow. That's karma, and that's the lesson. Right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, me 100 minus a day. So I never know the right thinkers like you passed away. That would hurt a lot. I'm out. I'll be back.